we also use CSS, because without using CSS we can't apply the properties under div tag. Just a minute. What was our folders? I think that this is the
Front end. Yep. Not this. Front end.
front end work. I think that this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so these examples we have discussed. The last one is table, and I have discussed about what is the row span and call span in table and how it works. Okay, and today's session I am discussing about what is div and how to create layout using div. Div means division tag, and most of the cases now we are creating the layout using div tag, because the table is generally used to create the form layout. Means suppose that we are creating any form, and we have already discussed about form element, I think that. Okay, text field, button, this one we have we are
Yes.
discussing.
Yes.
Okay, where it is in example 3, table layout 1, I think that this one, this is a layout. Example 3, example 2, example 1. Okay, the first we start from div layout, after that we discuss about form layout also. What is div layout? I am just open this. It pages. Okay, today we are discussing about div layout, div tag. So div tag, this tag will be declared this way. It means division. Division. It provide separate section to web page to manage layouts, to create and manage layout. The div means division. It is basically used to create the layout based on multiple divide or multiple divisions into the web page. Okay, the table layout is fixed based on rows and columns, but div provide just box. This type of, suppose that this type of box, if we want to create in HTML web page, then we prefer div tag. And how to write this? We will start with HTML and close with HTML, and after that we will use head. This is HTML skeleton, means this is structure of HTML, and into the body, suppose that this box I want to create, then what I will do, I will take one div tag and I will write style. This is the CSS, it is called inline CSS, and I will mention height and width. I will mention here height 200 pixel, means this portion is called height. Okay, so their height is 200 pixel, suppose that, and this portion is called width, and here I will provide width 200 pixel. Suppose that I am providing 200 pixel height and 200 pixel width, as well as I will also provide background color. And what background color I will provide? Any background color I can provide. I will write here gray. Okay, this one, and just close this div tag, and so this is the complete box. And here in in between div tag we can write any other content such as image, video, okay, and paragraph. This type of HTML content we can write. Okay, so now we create this into our layout section, go into VS Code, and just I will write here example 5 dot HTML, and this one here simply I will write div style equal to height 200 pixel, width 200 pixel, and the properties of CSS to change the background color. This is background color, and I will write background color gray, this one. So it provide one empty box whose height is 200 pixel, and width is 200 pixel as well. Open with live server. This is the division what I have created. Okay, you have any question related this HTML tag, div tag?
No.
Okay, and suppose we want to create with 100% width, we will mention here percentage as well. So we can provide two different type of units. One is the fixed unit, that is called pixel, and another one is percentage width. 100% means 100% of web page width. Okay, so it will take 100% width. This way we can design the header section of any web page, and here I will mention that this div for header section. Okay, that's it. Okay, now again I will create another div. This one, and their height I will exceed with 500 pixel, width will be similar, and their background color I will change. This is a cyan color. Okay, and now I will manage this. This is the another partitions of web page, and that is called middle part or middle division or middle section. This one, and again I am okay, their width, height I will mention height 400 pixels. Okay, and again I will write here height 100 pixel and width 100%, and what I will write here footer section. I have created three partitions. The first one is for header section, second one is for middle section, and third one is for footer section. Okay, and this is the gap. I want to remove this gap. Then again I will use this one, means we will write style type equal to text CSS. This is called internal CSS. So CSS means cascading style sheet. It provides set of properties for HTML element. Okay, and here I will mention margin 0 pixel. Asterisk means all margin it will reset to 0 pixel. All margin it will reset to 0 pixels. Then automatically all margins of headers, middle, suppose that I will remove this, then you will see there. Okay, these are the default margin what HTML element contain. I will reset these margins to 0, then margin 0 pixel, this type we mention. It's a compulsory for when you will design any particular web layout using div tag, then this universal tag or universal block of CSS you should always define. Okay, so their meaning is that it will remove all default margin of div tag. Okay, so this is the header section, this is the middle section, and this is the footer section using div. The div is basically when you are creating any web page, suppose that any website, suppose that you are creating, then these websites partitions has been created by div tag. So this is a header section, suppose that this is a header section, this is another div, this is another div, this is another div, this is another div, means this complete website has been created using collection of multiple div tag. That's why if you are creating any website layout, then div tag is most important tag, and today most of the websites uses this. Most of the website are 99 or 100% website refer this type of layout. Okay, so we can put the content as per our requirement. Suppose that we want to put here one images and one text, means in this side I want to put the image and in this side I want to put the text. Again here I will mention image and text. Okay, so if we want to create two partitions, suppose that what is our next objective? Our next objective is to create two different partitions of layout. So how it will create, how we can manage it? Suppose that this is part 1 and this is part 2. So this is also most important. Suppose that you have any section and you want to create two partitions. So what we will create? So we will create multiple, means child div. This is the main parent div. So we can create div into nested sequence. Okay, means within we can use one div to inside another div. Okay, so means this is a div, and again we can create div here, again we can create div here. This type also we can create, and this type also we can create. So there are different type of layout. Suppose that here also we need div, then also we can create. Means we can create div tag using nesting. Means one div inside another div, one div inside another div. This type of sequence we can manage into the div tag. Similar to table also. But table is structured layout, means it contains table row, after that table column, and table have many restrictions. Suppose that you are creating 3 column in first row, then it is mandatory to create 3 columns in all row. But in div there have no any restriction. You can create any number of boxes inside box. Okay, so we can manage anything else, means there are no any particular restrictions under the div. So here I will create 2 div. This is the first division and second, because our objective is to subdivide this main containers into 2 different sub containers. This one, suppose that I will write here our mission, this one, and here I will just provide one image. We have already put the image. What I will write, imgsrc images slash our mission.png, and I will write here width equals to 100% and height equals to 100%. This one. Here I am not mentioning any CSS, just creating 2 division and just write it and see the result. Now if we are not using any CSS, then our page layout will be this. Means our mission div is there and our mission images will be this, because the images size is so large. So what I will do, I will resize the image first. I will mention here width Okay, so width I will mention, suppose that 300 pixel, and the height also I have declared here 300. This one, so means if you are putting two divisions, okay, means suppose that division, suppose that we are writing this one, first div and second div. So by default div dimension is row based, means their default dimension is row wise. I want to convert their dimension to column wise, means row wise means first div will be in first row and another div, second div will be in second row. Means by default div dimension is row wise. If we want to convert the div dimensions into column wise, then we will write some extra attribute. Suppose that my objective is to create this type, means I want to change the dimension of div to column wise. To change the div dimension column wise, div contain one property that is called float property. Float property, this is a predefined property, and you should always remember, when you want to display div into the same row or means column wise, then you should use float left or float right property. Okay, and where it will declare, so we just write div style equal to float left. When we will write float left, then this div dimension is left side, and again I will create another div, and here I will write float right, means their meaning is that this div dimension is right side. So this, if you want to create div under column wise, then you should always use floating property, and floating property change their default dimensions to custom dimensions. Okay, so now this is the problem, means when I will run this web page, then first div is our mission in first row and our mission images into second row, but our objective is to show these div into the same row. Then what I will do means column wise, then I will just applying the property float property here, style equal to float left, and here I will write style equal to float right. Okay, then also it will okay, now it will appear into the same particular row, and their float dimension is left and right, and it will appear into column wise. Because the default property of div is row wise, it will always display div elements, means first row and another div into the second row. And I can manage the width and height also. So suppose that width is 100% of web page, I will put here width 50% area for this div, and remaining 50% area for this div. Okay, so now it will manage, and here I can write the content, paragraph and lorem 100. This it will provide dummy content appear into the web page. Width is 300, I will manage 200, sorry, width is 300 and height I will mention here 200. This one again I will manage another content, and here I will write our vision, means in this part in this section images will be appeared, and in this section content, means just opposite. So again I will create two div, this one, and now I will change the content, our mission. In place of our mission, I will write our vision. And this one, and now I will change the images slash vision.jpg. That's it. So this time we can create the layout using div tag. Suppose that here the text and here the image, and the text. Okay, so this is the most important attribute or most important element, most important HTML element to create the layout. If you have any question related this, then you can ask. You have any question related to this layout?
No question.
Okay. And now another one is I want to create 3 different partition into the footer section. Suppose that this is our website, okay, and we have created 1, 2, 3 this type of divisions I have created in footer section, and I have created 2 different footers part 1 and footer parts 2. And footer part 1 I have created 3 different section, and footer part 2 also I have created 2 different section, and footer 3 I have just created 3 different rows, and in footer 4 I have just created one single row. So this type in footer section I have created multiple set of divisions. Okay, so here I am just creating 2 different divisions to manage the footer section. And first divisions I will write the address, and second division I will write the menu section, and in third division I will write the courses. Suppose that this one. So how I will create? So here I will take 3 div, and again I will create another div, and again I will create another div. So I have created 3 different div. And what I will write here? Address. First div I will write the address. This content I will take here, and this one I will manage this content under the paragraph. First paragraph, second paragraph, because you cannot write any content directly. You should always write the content under the any HTML elements, means which HTML element is suitable for this. Suppose that this is a normal text content, then we will put inside paragraph tag. Suppose if you have any image, then you will put under the img tag. That's it. I am not putting any CSS right now, I am just putting the text, and after that I will show you how it is managing by default and why we have requirement of CSS. Now I will write here e-counseling and career tutorials, franchisee options, this one. Okay, and how to mention this? So you can take here UL, and what you will write here? LI. UL LI. We have already discussed about when we create any menu items, then we should always use ULLI. That's why we have already discussed this tag. This is also the most important tag to manage the content under the HTML web page. This one, and after that college, e-counseling, Okay, nothing else. And another ULLI I will take here and mention franchisee. After that, sorry, li tag, and here I will mention gallery. Again I will manage here li and tutorial also I mentioned job alert, review, terms and conditions.
You are not using here CSS, so output will be messy.
Yes,
Like,
yes, 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 that things I am
mm,
showing you. Without CSS, how this web page, how this section is appearing. Okay, this one, this section will show this type without using CSS. So how, if we want to create like this, then we will align this using CSS. Okay, so first I will use CSS under containers, because we have taken three different containers. The first one is this div, second one is this div, and third one is this div. So what, because I have already discussed about div, that default nature of div is that it will represent the content, or it will show by default row wise mode, means
row
default mode
wise.
of div is row wise. So first we will change their dimension using style. After that I will use just float left, this property, and I will exceed their height also. I will mention their height 200 pixel, and again I will use div style float left, means these there are three division. That's why we can't use float left float right. We will just use float left. In second division also I will use float left, and in third division also I will use float left. Means I have subdivided this division into three different parts. This one, okay. So I will also use that CSS into the internal content. Right now I am just using CSS into the external content. That's why the content is putting in different type of partitions into based on columns. And the third one is courses. What will be the third one is courses. I will provide their headings also. In first div there are no heading. In second, its heading will be menu. Then I will mention here menu. And the last one is courses. That's it. And in courses I will use same containers, ULLI, this one. I will change this content, simply mon stack, Python full stack, these are the contents here. So now we are just focusing on layouts. Content can be changed, mon stack. Here I will write .NET full stack.
One question here.
Yes,
As you use float left for two deep subtack, so it is behaving like next to next, right?
yes, yes, next to next.
Okay.
Means
Here no option for top and bottom like that.
top and bottom, by default div is top and bottom. Okay, then suppose that you are
Okay.
creating two div, then the first div is the top and second
Mhm.
division is in bottom. Their default behavior is top and bottom.
Because of it's behaving like row, not column wise.
Yes, yes, yes. Default behavior is row, and we want to manually add float property to change their dimension to column.
Okay.
PHP full stack, and any course I will write here just ROR, nothing else. Okay, now I am managing this. It has three column wise, their layouts have been changed, and their content. Okay, so we will manage their menu. Means in menu there have two different sub partitions. Means these UL will be in float left and these UL in float right. So inside div again we will create two different div to manage the menu. Okay, here. So div inside div means that is called nested div. Again I will create two div. This one, and the first menu part I will put inside this div, and another menu part I will put inside this div, and that's it. And here again I will write style float left, and in this div I will write style float right. That's it. Okay, now you can see here it is managing properly. Okay, and I will provide the margin and padding, that thing, then it will manage properly. So this is a menu: e-counseling, career, tutorials, college, this one. So here I will also use many CSS properties to align the internal content. Suppose that you are creating internal content like this way, then we have already applied the UL-alike CSS and here paragraph CSS. These things I have applied here. That's that's why it's appearing this way. Okay. In paragraph also, suppose that I will create the margin here or padding here. So first padding means the paragraph content is just stick under the div. If we want to provide proper gap to internal content of div, then we will write padding property under the div. So padding is the most important property. Okay, so suppose that look at here, I am just mentioning here padding top in this div, address based div. I will just write padding top, and what I will write here, 10 pixel. This property I am mentioning here, padding top 10 pixel. So it will automatically creating the gap from the top dimensions, means top, from top it will provide the gap. Suppose that I will write here 20 pixel, then it will provide the gap of 20 pixel. Okay, and I want to provide the gap in between these address, means Palacia office, Vijayanagar office. I will provide the gap between paragraphs. Okay, then what property I will use? I will use margin property. I will just use margin top 10 pixel. So margin will create the gap between two different elements. Suppose that two paragraph, two different division. Okay, then we will apply the property of margin. If we want to apply the property of parent element, then their all inside child element will manage the gap. Then we will use padding. Means padding property is based on internal internal specification or internal modification, and margin,
Child and pet.
yeah, parent and child, and margin properties will be applied to between two different element of HTML. It can be paragraph, it can be div, it can be any other elements. Margin top 10 pixel, these properties I am just applying in all paragraph. Okay, so now it appear this way. Okay, So this is the margin properties, and here the size is little bit less, that's why. So we will also provide the size to these divisions, means now these in these child divisions is auto size, means I have not mentioned their width, that's why it is they are managing the size as per content. Now I will manage the size here. So what we can manage in, we can manage in percentage, because this main division size is 100%. Okay, so it has three different divisions, first, second and third. So we can subdivide the size. I will write their size width 40% or 33%. This div width 34%, and this width I will provide 33%. Means in percentage I have provided their width. Okay, so now it is appearing this way, means this is the first division content, and this is the second div content, and this is the third div content. Okay, and also I will provide the margin property here, and also I will provide the margin property on this one. Okay, the content wise also we can manage here what I have mentioned there. So means everything in any web page is completely based on CSS. Means CSS, what is the most important properties of CSS? The most important property of CSS in case of div, it is a float property. The next one is a margin property. The next one is a padding property. So these properties is mandatory to create any layout. Suppose that H3 menu, I want to just manage the menu alignment to center. Then what I will write here in H3, I will write style, and their properties is text align center. Just I will write this property. Okay, so it will move to center. I will write here text align left. Text align left means this text will be aligned into the left side. Okay, this one. Here ULLI also it contain properties, set of properties. These all properties I will discuss one by one. Okay, but in, if we write the all CSS under the inline CSS pattern, then it is not reusable. Okay, because in, if we mentioning the CSS, or if we declaring the CSS inside the HTML elements, then it can't be reusable, and it is particular not properly appear into the HTML web page. That's why we are creating separate file for CSS and write all these properties into the different block, and we just call these block under the HTML tag, that is called external CSS. Okay, so here I have created the CSS using inline CSS. He created the HTML documents or HTML web page using inline CSS, but it is not the professional approach to declare the CSS. The professional approach to declare the CSS is external CSS. So first I am mentioning about what is CSS. What is CSS? How to define it? It means cascading style sheet. It provide set of properties to HTML element to create rich user interface. Means if you want to create rich UI, rich user interface, better design approach, then you can use different type of CSS properties. Okay, because HTML properties or HTML attribute is limited, but CSS has no bound. You can create any type of elements what you have required, any type of design suppose. So any type of design you can mention using CSS, because it has provided unlimited properties for HTML elements, based on margin, based on padding, based on text alignment, based on colors, based on their box shadowing, and lots of properties for designing purpose it provide. Okay, but no one can remember the all properties of CSS. When you are creating the web page, when you are using this, then automatically you can manage all the properties. Okay, so most of the cases CSS declare into three different ways into HTML web page. Suppose that you are creating HTML web page, because the CSS is the part of HTML. HTML, without HTML, CSS will not work. Means it is just a subordinate file, or you can simply say that it is another type of helper for HTML elements. Okay, it is a helper for HTML element, nothing else. So we can write CSS with three different ways. The first one, what we have uh, practically implemented, inline CSS. So what I have discussed today, this is inline CSS. We write CSS inside HTML tag, using style attribute, that is called inline CSS. Okay, suppose that the example of inline CSS is that paragraph style equal to, and I am just writing color, and I will write color red. So means if I am writing P style equal to color red, their meaning is that I want to change the color of paragraph text to red color. Means paragraph color is red color, means their text color is red color. So this is called inline CSS. Okay, in today's sessions I have implemented completely inline CSS. I have created the complete layout using inline CSS. Means this layout is the part of inline CSS. Okay, but CSS properties is common. You don't worry that CSS external CSS properties is different, internal CSS property is different. The CSS property is similar, only the approach is different. Suppose that you are using inline CSS, you will write the CSS inside HTML element. If you are using internal CSS, then you will write the CSS inside head section of HTML page. If you are using external CSS, you will create separate file of .css and link into the HTML head section. That's it, and nothing difference. The second one is inline CSS. It will declare inside head section, of HTML using style tag. Means CSS as a tag we will write. Okay, we have already write one properties using internal CSS, that is called asterisk property. Asterisk means all HTML tag margin 0 pixel. we have created internal CSS to apply this, because asterisk means all. So if we provide any properties, any common properties that will be applied into the current page, then we can use internal CSS. But their scope, sorry, it's not inline, it is the internal, and their scope will be into the same web page. Its scope will be in the same web page. Means we can't use this into the another web page. That's why it's called internal CSS, and it contains separate blocks. Okay, so means in internal CSS, suppose that I want to write the property for paragraph, so we just create P and write here color red. Their meaning is that it will apply to all paragraph. Specific, suppose that I want to create the properties for first paragraph only. So I will create dot block paragraph 1. I will write just paragraph 1, and here I will write color yellow. And this dot block is explicit block, means it will call explicit. Suppose that you are write paragraph in HTML and write the content, then it will automatically call, means it will call implicit. And paragraph 1, suppose that I will write here class equals to paragraph 1, means dot block will call by the class, it will call explicit. When I will call class equal to paragraph 1, then this will apply. Means in styling we will use two different type of block. The first block P means it is a predefined HTML element block that will call automatically, and the next one is dot paragraph, means dot block, and dot block always call explicit using class selector. The HTML contains two different type of selector, means HTML contain most of the cases class selectors, because class selectors will be called explicit. When we call, then it will apply, it will not automatically manage. Okay, to understand this point what I am discussing, in internal
Yeah,
CSS there have two different type of block. The first one is HTML tag block that will call implicit, and another one is dot block that will call explicit using class selector. Okay, so if you are creating any HTML web page, then most of the cases we use dot block, because it call explicit, means when we want, then it will call, it will not call automatically. But if you have any special requirement is that you want to call this implicit, then you can create HTML tag block. I will just show the example related this. Example 6.html, that's it. And this one I am just creating two block. Okay, first for paragraph, here I will write color red, and font size property also I will write 22 pixel. Another one is dot paragraph 1, dot paragraph 1, and here I will write the property color yellow, sorry, color yellow, and their font size is 34 pixel. That's it. I will write here paragraph, first paragraph, and here I will write second paragraph. And right now I am just calling, then both paragraph follow the P tag, means it will call implicit tag, means P tag, P block it will override, and I will just use class equal to paragraph 1. So this is the class selectors, and it will call explicit. Means when we will use class selectors, then I am explicit calling this dot block, and this paragraph will call automatically, means HTML tag block. Means there are two different type of block in CSS we always use. The first one is implicit block, that will be created similar, means just to define the HTML tag name, and another one is dot block, that will be called by class name. Okay, so this difference, I think that you understand properly what I want to say. Okay,
Yes. Yeah.
so now I am giving some tasks to you. This type of layout you should try to use inline CSS, not using internal CSS. Just use
Okay.
inline CSS and create this type of layout. In header, I need 3 partitions. In middle section, I need 4 partition. In footer section, in another one section, I have no partitions. Okay, and here I will create 3 partitions. Okay, this is header,
Okay.
and this is the another section, middle section first, this is the middle section second, and this is the middle section third. This is the footer part 1, footer part 2, and footer part 3. This type of layout you should create, and another layout you should create this one. This is a header section, this is a sidebar, and it has 2 partitions. This is header, this is a sidebar, means menu section, this is a content section, and here one about us section, and here address section. So these two layouts you should try to create, okay, using inline CSS and div. Okay, so these are the
Okay.
these are the most important for you to design the web page, because the div is most useful tag, and it is most mandatory tag to design the layouts. Then do practice of this.
Okay. Yeah, actually, you gave last time homework. I completed that one, so I just want to know whether it is correct or not according to you.
Yeah, yeah, you can show this.
Yeah, thank you. Hmm. Share screen. Where I getting the option?
Just you have
I'm not getting the sharing option here.
here you are presenting this button.
Okay.
Okay, just click on it. It will provide one default windows, and it has 3
Okay.
options: share entire screen. Then you can just share the entire screen.
Okay. Here in I'm getting option Chrome window entire screen.
Yeah, windows entire
So
screen. Entire screen. Just click on it.
yeah, got it. Yeah, it is visible.
Yes, yes, it's visible to me.
Yeah, so I can what I have done. Right, open live server. So when I click,
Yes, yes. Okay, it's good one. Example 2, example 3, example 4.
um, this like this. So this is your expectation or like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
anything else?
Same task. I think that I have created this task also, and I said to you that you also create this one, na?
Yeah, you told like that. But I did not use list today. I will practice tomorrow.
Yes, yes, yes. You should. You
Okay.
should. Okay,
If it
and
is, yeah, anything else required, just tell me. I will add on it.
actually, I'm not remembering completely what task I have defined, what are the task that we assigned you. Okay, I just
Okay,
I
write
think that
somewhere so that
I think
yeah.
that this one is perfect. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Can you share